Now I present our Back to the Future theme.
Can you believe what she posted? She's always seeking attention. I'm sure she has something against you.
Whatever. I could care less about what she has to say. I stayed up all night watching TV and taking shots. Who cares about priorities?
There's no point in priorities. Everything about this world is just so sad and depressing. I don't see any hope for us. Everything sucks.
You know, if everyone had just listened to me, things would have been so much better. But no, people just don't understand. I clearly know what's best.
Seriously, Dhriti, you think you're better than everyone?
The world is filled with so much negativity and self-indulgence. I really don't see any hope for us.
I'm too lazy to care. What's the point in trying to fix a world where everything is messed up?
Typical. No one has the intelligence to see the bigger picture. It's frustrating to be surrounded by such incompetence.
I see the turmoil in your hearts and minds as Lord Krishna. I see the age of Kali Yuga is indeed challenging, filled with restlessness, short lives, and constant misery. But there is a way to rise above these challenges.
Lord who?
I am Lord Krishna, the causes of all causes.
Oh really? And what do you suggest, Krishna?
The answer lies by understanding the wisdom of the past. Let us travel back in time through the different yogas and learn the modes of worship and devotion that can guide us in these troubled times. By learning from the past, we can bring back knowledge and practices that will help us overcome the evils of Kali Yuga. Trust in the journey and you will find the answers you seek.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try anything to get out of this mess.
Fine, but I'm not convinced this will make any difference.
Have faith and let us embark on this journey together. Through understanding and devotion, we can transform our present and future.
Whoa, this place is so tranquil, it almost feels unreal. But I doubt everything is as perfect as it seems. People probably have their own issues hidden beneath this facade.
It's so calm here. I'm not sure how anyone stays engaged in such a calm environment. I think it's kind of dull to me.
All the serenity is probably just for show. I bet even in the so-called golden age, people had their share of problems and pretenses.
It's like a stage set for a play. I'm not buying into this act of perfection. I mean, how is this gonna help us anyways?
Maybe there's something we're missing, but it's also hard to see beyond the polished exterior. I doubt it's anything better than what we left behind.
Let's just get this over with. I doubt this era will change my view on things.
Welcome to Satya Yuga, the age of truth and righteousness. This era is marked by deep devotion and purity.
If this is all there is, I might as well take a nap. This tranquility isn't thrilling.
A perfect age? What's the catch? I mean, why should we care?
The story of Dhruva Maharaj will soon be presented. He is a young prince who undertook severe penance and worship to me in the forest, which allowed him to be engaged in deep spiritual realization and love for the divine. His unwavering devotion and determination offer valuable lessons about overcoming challenges through faith.
Dhruva Maharaj? If his story is as remarkable as you say, it might be worth watching.
Alright, I'll watch, but I'm not holding my breath for any big revelations.
Observe Dhruva Maharaj's journey closely. His story of devotion and perseverance may offer insights that can be applied even in the difficulties of Kali Yuga.
Sure, Krishna. Let's see how this unfolds.
My dear son, we are so glad you came.
You are dear to me.
Harita told no, don't be here.
King Uttanpada is playing with his two children, born of different queens. Both children want to sit on his lap.
Father, what does it look like when you address the council from your throne? Do they look smaller? Let me climb up on your lap and pretend I'm the king, managing the nation's affairs.
I want to climb up on your lap too, Father.
Dhruva, you do not deserve to sit on the throne of the king. Surely you are also the son of the king, but since you are not my son, you do not deserve to sit on your father's lap. If you desire to sit on the throne of the king, then you must satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Narayan, and ask him for you to take your next birth as my son.
As a snake, when struck by a stick, breathed very heavily, Dhruva Maharaja, having been struck by the strong words of his stepmother, began to breathe very heavily in anger. When he saw that his father was silent and did not protest, he immediately left the palace and went to his mother. When Dhruva Maharaja reached his mother Suniti, his lips were trembling in anger, and he was crying. Queen Suniti immediately attended to her son, while the palace residents who had heard all the harsh words of Surji narrated everything in detail. Suniti also became greatly aggrieved.
Mother!
What is the matter, Dhruva? Why are you crying? Have you been fighting? Has someone been unkind to you? Who was it?
My other mother.
Mother Suruchi? What would cause her to be mean to you? What did you do?
I didn't do anything, Mother. Uttama was sitting on Father's lap, and I wanted to get up there too. But Mother Suruchi said I wasn't allowed to because I wasn't her child. She said I would have to worship Lord Narayan if I wanted to be qualified to sit on the throne, taking my next birth as her son.
My son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffers himself from that pain. My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi is because the king, your father, does not consider me his wife or even his maidservant. He feels ashamed to accept me. This may be very hard to hear, but if you truly desire to sit on the royal throne, you must follow the instructions of your stepmother. Giving up all envy, engage yourself in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana.
Mother, is God so great?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is so great that simply by worshipping his lotus feet, your great-grandfather, Lord Brahma, acquired the necessary qualifications to create this universe. Although he is unborn and is the chief of all living creatures, he is situated in that exalted post because of the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Your grandfather, Swayambhuva Manu, executed great sacrifices with distribution of charity, and thereby, with firm faith and devotion, he worshipped and satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By doing so, he achieved the greatest success in material happiness and afterwards achieved liberation. My dear Dhruva, I do not find anyone else who can mitigate your distress but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose eyes are like lotus petals. Many demigods, such as Lord Brahma, seek the pleasure of the Goddess of Fortune, but the Goddess of Fortune herself is always ready to serve the Supreme Lord.
Mother, I understand what you are saying, and I'm convinced that you are right. I'm sure to win the favor of Lord Narayan, and nothing shall stop me. Where shall I go to find God?
I understand that great sages go to the forest towards the north to find him out, but you are too young and inexperienced. You cannot.
I shall not return without seeing God himself, in person.
Dhruva, wait!
The great sage Narada overheard this news, and understanding all activities of Dhruva Maharaja, he was struck with wonder.
Narayana Hari, Narayana Hari, Narayana Hari, Narayana. These powerful Kshatriyas cannot tolerate even a slight infringement upon their prestige. Just imagine, this boy is only a small child, yet harsh words from his stepmother proved unbearable to him. My dear boy, you are only a little boy whose attachment is to sports and play. Why are you so affected by words insulting your honor? One who is intelligent should accept that process and be satisfied with whatever comes, favorable or unfavorable, by his supreme will. You have decided to undertake the mystic process of meditation under the instruction of your mother, just to achieve the mercy of the Lord. But in my opinion, such austerities are not possible for any ordinary man. It is very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, my dear boy, you should not endeavor for this and go home. When you are grown up, you will get a chance to execute these austerities. My dear Lord Naraji, whatever you explain for attainment of peace is certainly very good. But for an ignorant person like me, this philosophy does not touch my heart. My dear Lord, please accept my apologies for not obeying your instructions. O learned Brahmana, I want to occupy a position more exalted than anyone else has achieved within the three worlds. Kindly advise me of an honest path to achieve the goal of my life. My dear Lord, you are a worthy son of Lord Brahma, and you travel playing on your musical instrument, the Veena, for the welfare of the entire universe. You are like the sun, which rotates in the universe for the benefit of all living beings.
The great personality, Narada Muni, upon hearing the words of Dhruva Maharaja, became very compassionate towards him, and in order to show him his causeless mercy, he gave him the following expert advice.
My dear child Dhruva, instruction given by your mother, Suniti, to perform devotional service to Narayana is just suitable for you. You should therefore completely absorb yourself in the devotional service of the Lord.
Narada Muni advised Dhruva to go to the bank of the Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvana, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead always lives. Then he instructed Dhruva to take 3 baths daily in the auspicious water of the Yamuna river, which is known as Kalindi. After bathing, perform the necessary regulative principles for Ashtanga Yoga, and then sit down on an asana in a calm and quiet position. After sitting on a seat, he should practice the 3 kinds of breathing exercises, and thus gradually control the life air, the mind, and the senses. After freeing himself from all material contamination, and with great patience, he should begin to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Narada Muni gave the 12-syllable mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, for meditating on the physical form of the Lord, and then instructed him to worship the Lord by offering pure water, tulsi leaves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables, which are available in the forest. When Dhruva Maharaja was thus advised by the great sage Narada, he circumambulated Narada Muni and started for Madhuvana and followed his spiritual master's instructions. For the first month, Dhruva Maharaja ate only fruits and berries on every third day, only to keep his body and soul together. In the second month, Dhruva Maharaja ate only every 6 days, and for his eatables, he took dry grass and leaves. In the third month, he drank water only every 9 days. In the fourth month, Dhruva Maharaja became a complete master of the breathing exercise, and thus he inhaled air only every 12th day. By the fifth month, Maharaja Dhruva, the son of the king, had controlled his breathing so perfectly that he was able to stand on only one leg, just as a column stands, without motion, and concentrate his mind fully on the Param Brahma. He completely controlled his senses and their objects, and in this way he fixed his mind, without diversion to anything else, upon the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Dhruva Maharaja thus captured the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the three worlds began to tremble.
शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यम्.
Due to his full concentration, the total universal breathing became choked up, and all the great demigods and all the planetary systems felt suffocated, and thus took shelter from the Supreme Personality of God.
Dear Lord, you are the refuge of all moving and non-moving entities.
We feel all living entities to be suffocating. Their breathing processes are choked up.
We have never experienced such a thing.
Since you are the ultimate shelter of all surrendered souls, we have therefore approached you. Kindly save us from this danger.
My dear demigods, do not be troubled by this. It is due to the severe austerities and full determination of the son of King Uttanapeta, who is now fully absorbed in the thought of me. He has obstructed the universal breathing process. You can safely return to your respective homes. I shall stop this boy and his severe acts of austerities, and you will be saved from this situation.
When the demigods were thus reassured by the personality of Godhead, they were freed from all fears, and after offering their obeisances, they returned to their heavenly planets. Then the Lord, who is non-different from the Sahasrashirsha incarnation, appeared to see his servant Dhruva. The form of the Lord, which is brilliant like lightning, in which Dhruva Maharaja, in his mature yogic process, was fully absorbed in meditation, all of a sudden disappeared. Thus Dhruva was perturbed, and his meditation broke. But as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally present, just as he'd been seeing the Lord in his heart.
My Lord, you are the Supreme One, but by your different energies, you appear differently in the spiritual and material worlds. You are the only shelter of all people who desire liberation and friend of all who are distressed. How therefore can a learned person who has perfect knowledge ever forget you? O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the dark ocean of material existence. To ignorant devotees like me, you are the causelessly merciful maintainer.
My dear Dhruva, son of the king, you have executed pious vows, and I also know the desire within your heart. Although your desire is very ambitious and very difficult to fulfill, I shall favor you with its fulfillment. All good fortune unto you. After your father goes into the forest and awards you the rule of his kingdom, you will continuously rule the entire world for 36,000 years, and all your senses will continue to be as strong as they are now. You will never become old. Then, when you leave this world, I shall favor you with the rule of Polestar.
This is amazing! Kingship of Polestar? Never growing old? And immortality? I'm such a fool. I approached the Supreme Lord for things that are temporary and material. O Lord, you could immediately cut the chain of repeated birth and death, but I wanted to be a worldly king. I'm very ashamed of myself. You are so kind, so merciful, that instead of rejecting me, you not only fulfilled all my material desires, but also have given me the crest jewel of devotional service to His holy name. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
After being worshipped and honored by Dhruva Maharaja, and after offering him his abode, Lord Vishnu returned to his abode as Dhruva Maharaja looked on.
To endeavor to be situated in the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord is not an ordinary task, because even great brahmacharis who practiced Ashtanga Yoga attain the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet only after many births. Within 6 months, I achieved the same result, yet due to my thinking differently from the Lord, I fell down from my position.
Despite having achieved the desired result of his determination by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, Dhruva Maharaja was not very pleased. Thus he returned to his home.
Dhruva, my dear son, we are so glad you're coming home.
You are dearer to me than life itself. I have been constantly praying for your safe return.
My dear boy, we're all relieved that you're safe. Long may you live.
Dear friends, Our beloved son was lost a long time ago, and it is the greatest good fortune that he has been returned to us. It appears that this boy can protect us for a very long time and put an end to all of our sufferings. So now, let us return to the city where we will have a great celebration in honor of our glorious little hero, Dhruva Maharaj.
Stage. They have worked very hard for practices, putting the costumes together, doing the voiceover, recording and everything. Wasn't it marvelous? It was really good, isn't it? All the parents. Alpesh Prabhu, please come. So much hard work goes behind every single detail of the drama. So we all need to applaud these wonderful kids. Hopefully they learn the message of Dhruva Maharaj, and we as audience also learn the message of how Dhruva Maharaj had direct communion with the Lord. Thank you all parents for so much actively participating. We are very indebted to you all, and keep the momentum going, and congratulations on a wonderful performance. Thanks everyone. Hare Krishna.